Hello everybody, it's Keren here from tuppence.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. This is the project that I've been working on lately, and it's not my usual kind of project at all, but it is the sort of thing that I used to do some years ago, and I used to really enjoy doing this kind of grungy, shabby chic kind of look. And I thought I'd give it a go again. So please stay with me and I will show you how I made it. Here's what I'm using for the first part of the project. I've got this MDF heart, which I probably got from eBay or somewhere, and I've got some of the This Christmas Speciality DSP, and I'm going to be using mainly this side to begin with. I'm using the Timeless Textures stamps and soft suede ink. I'm going to be making use of this re-inker, it's Flirty Flamingo, and white acrylic paint and PVA glue. Before I get started, I just want to let you know that this is not a project that you will finish in half an hour. Each stage doesn't take very long, but you do need to leave things to dry in between the various stages and to set before you can move on to the next step. So you may notice that the sleeves of the shirt I'm wearing may change, quality of light may change, other stuff may change, the camera angle, things like that may change, and that is because I am going to be filming this over a period of time, not in one hit like I normally do. So I just wanted to get that out there. So if you suddenly see I'm wearing a blue shirt instead of a red one, and I haven't gone and done a quick change, it's because that bit is being filmed at a different point from this bit. Okay, so in the interests of keeping things as short as possible, I've got my little MDF heart and I've already stuck it down to a piece of the This Christmas DSP, and I want the green side up because that's the bit that is going to show through my crackle. I've stuck it down with some ordinary PVA. Alright, not using anything fancy at all, nothing fancy schmancy at all at this point. And I've made sure it's well stuck down, and I've kind of gone around the edges with my finger here just to make sure that it's well stuck on all sides. Alright, so now I've got an emery board and I'm just going to do this to trim away my paper. As you can see, that is coming away. I'm going to just go straight down across the edge. And I've got all sorts of dust flying around in the field of vision now, and I'm sorry about that. Alright, just don't be afraid of it. Just hit it. There we go. And I'm going to want the hole in the middle. So let's get my piercing tool. I'm just going to find where that hole is. Let's push it back the other way. And again, with the emery board, just smooth around it. I'm just going to shabby chic up the edges just a little bit. Alright. Now, because I was leaving that covered with paper, what I could do now is come in with a sponge dauber and just ink up that white edge there, and it would give me a lovely faded, shabby chic, antique edge. But we're not going to do that because we are going to cover this with Crackle paint. There are all sorts of Crackle glazes on the market, and if you've got one that you like using, do you know what? Go ahead and use it. But today I am going to be using my handy dandy cheap as chips craft PVA to make my Crackle. And the way I'm going to do it is this. I'm going to put some of my glaze into a pot. That's probably more than plenty. Did I call it glaze? It's PVA. I'm just going to add just a tiny little spot of water. Again, that's probably a bit too much. Let's pour some of that back. Okay, just to thin it just a little bit. I want it, yeah, that's about the consistency of cream. Okay, so just let it down just a little bit. And again, depending on your PVA, that's not necessarily essential. And I think I maybe want it a tiny bit thicker than that. So I just add a bit more PVA. This isn't an exact science, right? This is just do as you feel. Okay. And now I'm going to paste my PVA mixture all over the top of my MDF heart. And I'm going to put some pieces going that way. And the direction of your brush strokes will be, or should be, the directions of your crackles. So don't overwork it, right? Don't kill it. Just make sure it's all covered. And then we're going to leave it until it's clear and tacky, but not dry. So we're just going to go and let that sit there for a little while, and we will come back. Okay, this is just about there. There's some spaces where it's still a little bit cloudy, but I think it's just about the right point now. This is white acrylic paint, and I've added a couple of drops of Flirty Flamingo re-inker because I want a kind of hint of a pink kind of a colour. And I'm just going to paint this over the top of my heart. And I'm not going to overwork it. I'm just going to go one swipe, pretty much, and it's done. And now we're just going to sit here and watch paint dry. That's been left overnight, and it's now completely dry and ready to move on to the next stage. So I have my soft suede ink and my sponge, and I'm going to begin by distressing this a little bit. So I'm just taking down that colour, and I'm making sure I get the edges. I'm just taking it, making it a little bit dirtier and a little bit grungier. Okay, and if I overdo it, because this is still a fairly slick surface, I can wipe it off again. Okay, so that's now looking nice and dirty and distressed. And I am going to get the edges of the heart, so that doesn't look, that's it. This is going all over my hands, but never mind, we can go and wash the hands afterwards. And some people have asked me, what do I use to get my hands clean afterwards? And I use a craft scrubby. I think it's a Ranger product, and it just looks like how I can do a hard sponge. But it really works. It really works well. Okay, so now I've got that all gunged and dirty and disgusting looking. Timeless Textures, and I'm going to use, which one am I going to use? This one, I think. And I'm not even putting it on a block. Okay, I'm just inking it up, and I'm working with it just with my fingers. I'm just adding some bits of texture here and there. Okay, and there is my very grungy looking heart. Let me, oh, that's so that the lights aren't reflecting on it quite so much. Now the next thing I want to do, once this has had time to dry properly, is to add the embellishments and to add the sentiment, and that's all going to take a little bit more time, and this is turning into quite a long video already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop filming at this point, and I will come back with a part 2 video which will be all about the embellishment and the finishing off. So thank you for staying with me up till now, and if you've liked this video, then don't forget to subscribe and to come back later and to see part 2. But for now, thank you very, very much for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.